Our Constitution gives us a layout for how our government works, and it gives us the rights we are afforded as Americans. The first and one of the most important rights is our right to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, and so forth. We are fortunate to live in a country that gives us so much freedom and opportunity. But we have to ask ourselves, are our rights limited depending on the profession we choose? This seems to be the case for most people in the education world. In my eyes, teachers have one of the most important jobs. Now, I may be biased, but look at what teachers do. They can change lives. They shape and mold the minds of our youth. They have opportunities to make change and make a difference in someone's life. Teachers should strive to be positive role models and good citizens and good people for our students. This may be the reason why teachers' First Amendment rights are limited a touch. Should we use offensive language in the classroom or in public? Should our speech be protected? Should we be able to wear symbolic clothing? Should we be able to also be citizens and speak our minds outside of school? This also brings on the issue of academic and religious freedom. Are we as educators allowed to teach controversial materials and topics? Are we allowed to express our religious views? These are often questions that schools, educators, and courts have to review and decide. Often it depends on our community standards, the context and circumstance of the issue, and the weighing of interests. Where do people draw the line? There was a court case in New York that started in 2013 and just closed in 2017, where a science teacher filed a lawsuit against the school for violating her constitutional rights. Ms. Silver is a Christian woman that often showed her Christian views in the classroom through images. The school then sent her a letter demanding that she remove the materials. They also asked her to keep her religion to herself. She argued that the materials did not cause any distractions in her classroom. They essentially cleansed her classroom of Christianity and Christianity in her teaching. Miss Silver had difficulties with this because other teachers were allowed to display their values proudly. The courts ruled in favor of the defendant, stating that the school is allowed to prohibit religious values from being displayed. The courts also stated that schools can prohibit teachers from implanting religious values upon students, citing Lemon versus Kurtzman. The case was appealed and the same conclusion was made. Silver petitioned for the Supreme Court to review, and they declined. I personally have to agree with the court's decision on this case. It is fine to have personal views, but a line has to be drawn between preaching them, between teaching them. We live in a diverse world where our classrooms will have students of many faiths or of no faith. We should respect this and consider our students first. Our job as teachers is to guide students and teach them to respect others and let them think for themselves. This may mean we have to keep some of our personal beliefs and values, such as religion, to ourselves. We can let it guide how we treat others, teach, and so forth, without it interfering with our students. This case is one of the many that have been filed in the last several years concerning First Amendment rights for teachers, and it surely won't be the last. This is evidence of major issues regarding rights for teachers. What rights do we have exactly?